Last weekend, I spent a chunk of my time cleaning out my closet. I'll begin with a few things I needed to get rid of, like my cozy sweaters, the Delhi winters, and its downpours in the month of March, shoving rain in my face like a middle finger. So, one, a strong adhesive, gluing a Polaroid of my dad changing my diaper. Aw. He smiles glorified with or without a paternity leave. Tucked in the corner loosely, you'll see my mother's nighties and ambitions a little tattered, stitched, reshaped, shortened to fit his plans and capacities. Her pantsuits hung with dust. Remnants of her workspace more hurt by having a baby than her co-workers for sexually assaulting a lady. Which brings me to two. A white plastic rose I taped to the keyhole. I've always had a thing for filling empty spaces, whatever that's supposed to mean. Plastic because plucked petals are too fragile to be deflowered like the spaces between my thighs. White because I love the contrast they play to my red stained panties and lace. B, no bleach is strong enough as of today to wipe the disgust on my granny's face when she looks at them. These created equivalents of the white roses carried by women on red carpets. But will you have faith in what I say? Unless I have a hashtag to prove that I would like to see money in my closet rather than a gown or a corset. Which brings me to three. A secluded drawer reserved for my little brother's safekeeping with his ballet shoes, Barbies, and brushes, eager to paint this world and his own in rainbows. He doesn't know how to classify his makeup, haircuts, clothes, and toys into a pulling or a thrilling. And we'd love to keep it that way because the last time I checked, Urban Dictionary classified it as freedom of choice. Strange, right? So he confidently asserts that I deserve bigger front pockets on my jeans and he deserves more shirts in shades of pink. I nod in agreement. But my insides, they wince at the thought of how you, me, we all failed to conceive, forget unicorns, huh? A reality, a basic reality where my little brother wouldn't have to come out of a bloody closet to be accepted for his identity. Which brings me to four, a cute curated Miniso basket cluttered with daily utility items, candles, cutters, pepper sprays. Candles never lit for dinner on a date, call for caution after 8 in the night, cause representation, my raped body, will be your 8 p.m. breaking news, candlelight march, and primetime debate. It's the same basket where I used to stack my lover's protein shakes and ego issues, my love, a milestone to be drawn on with his chiseled jawline and face tissues smothered with fairness creams. This brings me to five. A box of tissues and three neatly rolled Playboy magazines. Error, lack of data to trace the owner back to its source. Error. Except the smug imprints of auntie's boys will be boys remarks stood out in my cousin's smile right below his slashed eyebrow stitches. Unka beta aaj ghar mard ban ke aaya hai. Kindly note, tissues put to use for everything except his tears while having a beer with the boys, flinching at the sound of emotions, afraid of being called too soft or fragile. Kindly note, Playboy, the ancestor to Pornhub, nurtured a generation of sons and daughters, misreading sex and consent and pleasure. But how will you explain Jamila to them? Poor victims of puberty, weren't they? It made them curious, but learning to have porn still is like learning to drive after watching Fast and the Furious. I'm sorry, I lost count, but there's also a dictionary / thesaurus lying around here, folded ferociously from the letter F. It says, acknowledge her and him and everything in between, her and him as a human, talking of equality, of existence, and of rights. That would be enough for now. Period. I think I was high last night. From snorting words on a diverse subject drenched in complexity, multiplicity, and an unfurnished vocabulary, I remember choking by the time I reached the letter M. M for marriage, maternity, misogyny, misrepresentation, misandry. Misandry. I should have stopped at F, right? I should have stopped at F words that you have made synonymous with nuisance. But it took me a while to realize that this was a journey for you too. I am on the other end of this bridge, but I am holding out my hand. Follow the footsteps, finding facts and forgiveness for the fallacies of your fathers and forefathers. Fight but free from the fear of the F word. I don't hide behind an ism or an asm, but I am holding out my hand. I don't hide behind an ism or an asm as an orgasm. Flustered fingers could never give me, right? Flustered fingers could never roll a perfect joint. An ism that you all have heard and feared so much. My F word. But I didn't use the word feminism because I think I made my point. Thank you.